everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the May 1st, 2020 Vinyl Treasure Show. We're back to the 1950s and early 60s on this weird weather day. It was actually a little bit cool today, how I like it, but it was hot the other day. I was up here trying to clean some 45s, and it was way too hot. But I apologize for being late again. Hopefully this will not continue once, I don't want to say the word retirement happens. I'm so looking forward to that. But I'm not quite ready to make my announcement yet, at least not to my company. But don't tell them, I'm telling you. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have, as Joe Shacatano says, 4 weeks of 1950s and early 60s original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We opened up tonight's Vinyl Treasure Show with Good Buddy and his rockin' band. And he is none other than sax man Buddy Lucas, who was such an important figure in early R&B and rock and roll history. Had I think originally he had a band, his Band of Tomorrow. He was the house band for Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label, and he was also a songwriter, and he was a label owner. Steamboat Records, I know, was one of his, plus others, of course. I think his son was in the music business, but we heard one that he did on Monty Bruce's Tetra label. So if you didn't think that there's not really many releases on the Tetra label, it comes out on a blue Tetra. I'll show you guys watching in the YouTube chat. But it's from 1957. It's called Rockin' with the Duke. It's a great two-sided 45 on Tetra. Good Buddy and his rockin' band, a.k.a. Buddy Lucas, there to open up the 50s edition for tonight. Well, enough of my babbling here. You know, we open it up with a couple of fast records here, the vocal portion. And we head to Detroit, Michigan for this next group. Initially, they recorded as the Pharaohs on the Fascination label in 1957. That's a pretty rare 45, by the way. Then a tenor, Leroy Casey, he left the group, and he was replaced by Jim Hartrick, who ended up writing this song. And at the time, they also changed their name to the Four Imperials. This first came out on the local Detroit label called Lorelei Records. It was then picked up, I think, a month later by Dot Records. I have it on both labels, but we're going to play it tonight on the Lorelei label. It features Lynn Best on lead. This was a number 11 record on WJBK in Detroit, Michigan. We open up February 1958, the Four Imperials on the Lorelei label. It's called Lazy Bonnie.
Is Bonnie up yet?
Bonnie's still in bed. She's such a lazy. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead, my boy. Oh, Bonnie's still in bed. She's such a lazy. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead, my boy. Oh, Bonnie knows, and I know there ain't nothing wrong with her, but she lays there crying so. Oh, mama, come here, my head hurts so. Bonnie's still in bed. She's such a lazy head. Bonnie's still in bed. You'd better go ahead. Bonnie's still in bed. You'd better go ahead, my boy. Oh. Mr. Lee is gonna stand right there and say, dude, what's wrong with you? She's gonna stamp her feet and cry boo. Bonnie's still in bed. She's such a lazy head. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead. Bonnie's still in bed. You better go ahead, my boy. Bonnie's still in bed. Bonnie, 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 the lazy Bonnie. Bonnie, Bonnie's still in bed. Oh, 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 lazy Bonnie. Oh, 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 lazy Bonnie. Oh, oh,
Yeah, we open up the vocal portion there with the Four Imperials, February 58 release. On the first label, featured it on Lorelei Records, then it was picked up by Dot Records. Lazy Bonnie is the name of the tune. Lynn Best, he is on lead. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. And on the last 50's edition, played a request for listener George Tompkins. He requested the Revels, a great group out of Philadelphia, with their first of two on Bernie Lowe's Sound label. It was called You Lied to Me. The flip is an excellent jump, and again it features the lead of Sam Hart. We go back to 1956. This is on the Sound label. These are the Revels and their tune called Later, Later, Later. No, Later, Later, Baby.
Later, later, baby, later, later, baby, later, later, baby, later. So long, baby, later. Why do you have to go? My pretty baby's going to take a trip. Yes, my pretty baby's going to take a trip. I said, look here, baby, you had better get him. I said, baby, don't you catch that train. I said, baby, don't you catch that train. She said, I'm leaving, Daddy, I can't stand your name. I'll be right here when you get back, waiting at the same old track. Later, later, baby, later. So long, baby, later. Why do you have to go? I said goodbye, she turned her head. She said, I don't want you, Daddy. Go ahead. Later, later, baby, later. So long, baby, later. Why do you have to go? I said, baby, don't you catch that train. Yes, I said, baby, don't you catch that train. She said, I'm leaving, Daddy, I can't stand your name. I'll be right here when you get back, waiting at the same old track. Later, later, baby, later. So long, baby, later. Why do you have to go?
Later, baby. B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the great Revels. I tell you, that's a great jump side there. The flip side of You Lied to Me. Later, Baby, Later from 1956. That's on the Sound record label, Bernie Lowe's Sound Records. We continue here as we count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition. On the last show, I featured the Five Royales, a group out of the Winston-Salem area of North Carolina. Played their third release on Bess Berman's Apollo record label. It was called Baby Don't Do It. It was listener Nick Nicola. He asked if I could flip the 45 over, so we're going to do that before we file this one back down in the no humidity basement. It features Johnny Tanner on lead. This is going out to Nick, December 1952. The Five Royales on the Apollo label. It's called Take All of Me.
Hey, stop! Wait a minute, baby. What you trying to do to me? Old age is creeping up on me. I'm not like I used to be. My baby's trying to take all of me. 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 I'm sweet. So baby, hold it, don't roll it, take it easy, baby, and control it. My baby's trying to take all of me. My baby's trying to take all of me. My baby's trying to take all of me. I'm weak, 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 so weak. And everything will be okay. My baby's trying to take all of me. 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 I'm weak, 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 so weak. Baby, hold it, don't roll it. Take it easy, baby, and control it. My baby's trying to take all of me. 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 I'm weak, 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 so weak.
Johnny G getting caught here. I'm sorry, I have to apologize here. A little bit discombobulated here. As always, when I'm rushing to do the show, I apologize for being late. As I said, I'm only half ready for this show tonight, believe it or not. But anyway, that's going out to Nick Nicola. They're the Five Royales, December 1952. On the Apollo label, Take All of Me is the name of the tune. Actually, kind of a double meaning there, I think. But that comes out on a cool red vinyl for you collectors out there. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And here's a request for listener Daniel Kubacki as we head to the Bronx, New York for the great Crickets. The Crickets here. And Daniel requested their first release on Joe Davis's JD record label, which Joe Davis, he would send out his 45s for review to Billboard. They reviewed this and rated it excellent. The flip was rated just good, but it's the first of 6 on JD Records for the Crickets. It features the great Dean Barlow on lead. By request for Daniel, July 1953, the Crickets on the JD record label. It's called When I Met You.
When I met you, my poor heart had just started to mend, and now you've got it crying again, crying again. When I met you, I had faith in no one that I knew, and now you've made me lose faith in you. Why can't I find someone who would love me or leave me alone? Why doesn't fate
Someday
send me a maid that I could have just for my own? When I met you, I thought I lost someone true, but now I find I'm losing you. When I met you, I thought I had lost someone true, but now I find I'm losing you. When I met you.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, the Great Crickets, Dean Barlow and the Crickets. It's on Joe Davis's JD record label, July 1953. Nice, smooth ballad there called When I Met You. For you collectors out there, the true first press should be on the pink JD record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening, and those of you that can't tune into the Vinyl Treasure Show live today, of course, you can go to my YouTube webpage and you can check out the archive. Unless I get copyright issues like last week, they said YouTube sent me two emails. They said I had a copyright strike on two records I played, a Jay and the Americans record, and I forget what I think it was Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells. I played two mid-60s records by them, and I got this notification that the show unfortunately can't be played in Cuba and Iran and Syria and one other place. So I said, okay, not a problem. But then I saw when I go to my website that the show is blocked in all countries because of 17 copyright issues. I said, wait a minute. I said, this can't be right. I played some of these records like 4 years ago, and you can't give me this. So I removed, I think, the Jay and the American record. I can mute it out, and I removed the Patti LaBelle record. So I don't think the chat, I think I lose my chat too when I do this program that YouTube has. So then all of a sudden it was up, and those records were wiped off. So I don't know what they did. I don't know if it's because I went really long on my 60s show. I did I think I did another 45 minutes overtime to play a bunch of the records. I played a lot of records last week for my All 60 show. Let's hope this doesn't happen tonight, because that's terrible. I mean, I own these 45s, and this is like a historic show. I'm teaching a class. For pleasure and for knowledge. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, up next, a very rare 45 on Morty Shad's Jax label, JAX Records, out of New York City, and I have this on red vinyl. The group is called The Ramblers, not to be confused with the Ramblers that recorded for the MGM record label, who, by the way, were also recorded as the Kings, aka Bobby Hall and the Kings. But this is a totally different group altogether, probably out of New York City, and this is a great jump side. This one from October 1953. Give a listen to The Ramblers on the Jax label. It's called 50-50 Love.
I'm so happy when you live, but if it's 60-40, baby, take it out of here. 60-40, love one, two. 60-40, love one, two. If it had 50-50, baby, I'm through with you. I love you where you love me, the way you hold me tight. But someone else is sharing you, baby, right. 60-40, love one, two. 60-40, love one, two. baby, I'm through with you. I want you when I want you, so lay it on the line. Don't wanna hear you tell me, baby, please, all the time. Can't you see? Not for me, if it ain't 50-50, baby, I'm through with you. Go, go, go! The nickels and a dollar's worth of dime, but 60-40 love and it just pays the price. 60-40, can't you see? Not for me, if it ain't 50-50, baby, I'm through with you. Baby, I'm through with you.
Yeah, those are the Ramblers. Yeah, the Ramblers on the Jack's record label. 50-50 Love from October 1953. And yes, Reed, I have to agree. It's kind of weird that the Bobby Hall and the Kings recorded as the Ramblers on the MGM record label, and then there's this Ramblers group on the Jack's label. It is all confusing because that's what Charlene told me. She said, Johnny, I'm confused about this on the Marv Goldberg site, so I'm really confused what's going on with the Ramblers there. And that tune, a great tune, 50-50 Love. Is it always 50-50 in the relationships? I say no. I say it's more like 60-40 for the guy. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. Let's stay in 1953 with a request for Daniel Kubacki, as this group is out of Harlem, New York, and Daniel requested their second of three for the Atlantic label. Features Harold Sonny Wright on lead, and it's a nice rendition of a 1930s standard. We go back to August 1953. Give a listen to the Diamonds. The Diamonds on Atlantic, not the Diamonds out of Canada that did Little Darling. This is a Diamonds group out of Harlem, New York, and their rendition of the tune Two Loves Have I.
Two loves have I, and they tear me apart. Two loves have I, both are in my heart. One is a flower, and the other a flame. Two loves have I, but they're not the same. When I'm in a gay mood, then it's for your life. Love I crave, while other arms and other lips make me your slave. I can't deny
by request for Daniel Kubacki there. Those are the Diamonds. The Diamonds on Atlantic. They're second of three for Atlantic from August 1953. And it's with Harold Sonny Wright on lead. Now, he also was the lead singer of a group called the Regals. They have a release here on the Atlantic label. And also the Metronomes. The Metronomes, they had two great records on the Cadence label of all labels. Not many really R&B groups on the Cadence label, but the Metronomes ended up there on Archie Blier's label. Johnny G here spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's move into 1954, and I think Morty Shad, who was the owner of Harlem Records, he wanted his label design to look very similar to the Atlantic label, the yellow and black Atlantic label that I have on turntable number 1, and I showed you the Harlem label. It's also yellow and black, which I think that was intentionally done, and it may have been intentionally done with this record too, that they wanted to copy something Atlantic did. But we're going to stay in Harlem, New York for another great group. They're called the Empires, and this is the group's debut single, and it sounds to me like they wanted to copy a group that also recorded on Atlantic. So you're going to have to call the lawyers, I think, on this record here. But this features John Barnes on lead. We go to late 1954 for the Empires on the Harlem label, and their tune is called Corn Whiskey.
I want it bad. If I don't get it, it makes me sad. And when I get it, it makes me feel frisky. It's not what you think is good. Corn whiskey, corn whiskey, drink it all the time. Corn whiskey, woo, corn whiskey, and it makes me feel real frisky. When me and my baby wanna get high. She said, come daddy, take me bye-bye. She said, take it easy daddy, don't go so fast. We want this good stuff to really last. It's corn whiskey, all the time. Corn whiskey, corn whiskey, and it makes me feel real frisky. Well, corn whiskey.
Those are the Empires there. The Empires with John Barnes on lead. Late 1954 release on the Harlem label. It's called Corn Whiskey. I've never had corn whiskey. I like Seagram's. Is that I guess that's a form of whiskey. I used to have that with 7-Up or what else did I have? Ginger ale. I used to have that when I used to go to the company parties that we haven't had for a number of years, a long time. I don't think I've attended a company party in a long, long time. But anyway, those are the Empires there, Corn Whiskey. And the Drifters sounds a lot like Money Honey, trying to capitalize on that September 53 release by the Drifters on Atlantic, but this was late 1954. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening spinning 45s. Those of you who say, if you're new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You should receive notifications, although I didn't see Fred in the chat yet, so maybe he didn't get his notification, but let's continue here. We go to Brooklyn, New York for this next group, and it's a request for George Tompkins. And I was looking for this record for the longest time. George requested it a long time ago, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find this one. I couldn't find a 5 Keys on King, and I couldn't find a Mascots on King. I'm like, where are these records? So I've slowly been taking boxes up and kind of sorting through them and putting them in piles, and I saw this one King box way in the corner. I said, could they be in there? And they were in there. So I finally found it after about a year of searching. But anyway, this is the group's second of 6 on Sid Nathan's King record label. It features Pringle Sims on lead. This is going out to George Tompkins, April 1954. These are the Strangers on the King label. It's called Blue Flowers.
Here are some flowers, all tied in blow. Please take these flowers, for they belong to you. The beauty of nature is quite a scene. With my heart and these flowers, love will show you what I mean. See their colors blending with the sky. Their beauty still a mystery to you and I. Don't cry, my darling, for it need not be. I to you, and you belong to me. Oh, flowers can be found on a star. They symbolize love, no matter where you are. So take these blue flowers, dear, and handle them with care. Handle them with care.
That's a nice tune there by request for George Tompkins there. The Great Strangers, April 1954 on the King record label. Blue Flowers is the name of the tune, and Pringle Sims on lead there. I was going to have to hold out to play my 78 on that, because I think I have a 78 of that also, nice mint one. That's not a mint record, but I got that pretty cheap at one of the Allentown, Pennsylvania shows. It's supposed to be, what I was talking to Greg, he told me that I think there's going to be the Austin show coming up out in Texas. That used to be a really big show. I never went to the Austin, Texas show. that Doug Hanners used to put that one on. Never been to that one. I know a lot of the dealers that have been to that one, but they used to definitely find good stuff there. Johnny G here babbling on. Let's continue here. We move into 1955 now as we head to Chicago, Illinois. We go to Leonard Allen's United record label for this one. I love both sides of this 45 here. This group is called the Pastels, not to be confused with the Been So Long group that recorded on the Argo or Mascot label, Pastels. But this group has just one release, and this is the intended A-side, which is a cool jump tune. This features Fred Buckley on the lead. This charted, believe it or not, a big number 9 record on WILY in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We go back to December 1955. These are the Pastels on United. It's called Boom Diddy Boom.
Oh, boom, diddy, boom. My heart went boom. When you walked in the room, my heart went boom. Boom, diddy, boom. I love you so. Oh, boom, diddy, dad. You know I care. By the way that I stare. Don't go, don't go. Let me put a little bug in your ear. Trust me, honey, don't have no fear. Come on and kind of throw a little smile my way, or I'll stand here staring at you all day. Boom, diddy, boom. Now play your tune. I'm eating out of your spoon. So play your tune. Don't stop, don't stop. Let me put a little bug in your ear. Trust me, honey, don't have no fear. Come on and kind of throw a little smile my way, or I'll stand here staring at you all day. Boom, diddy, boom. I'll play your tune. I'm eating out of your spoon. So play your tune. Oh, boom, diddy, bop. Don't stop, don't stop.
December 1955 release there for the Pastels. The Pastels with Fred Buckley on lead. Boom Diddy Boom is the name of that tune. Came out on Leonard Allen's United label. That's a cool label to collect, believe it or not. Yes, it is. Lots of labels in the 50s are cool to collect like Johnny G does. Let's continue here. We are in 1955, and on the last 50s show, played a request for Nick Nicola. He requested Bob Williams and the Chromatics on the Blend label. The song was called Rockin' Beat, and I think in my chat room 2 weeks ago, I think it was Peter in our chat room asked if I could play the flip side. So we're going to send this one out to Peter, as these are the Chromatics. They are backing up Bob Williams on the Blend label, a label out of Los Angeles, California. This one from March 1956. Blend Records, Bob Williams and the Chromatics. It's called I'll Never Change.
I'll never change. I'll go on loving you. I'll never change.
years roll on, I need you, dear. I want you by my side. Restore your faith again in me. With kindness to you, loving you to the end, and I'll be more than a friend. I'll never with kindness to you, loving you to the end, and I'll be more than a friend. I'll never change. I'll never change. March 1955 there. That's going out to Peter. That's Bob Williams and the Chromatics there on the Blend record label out of Los Angeles, California. I'll never change. Johnny G will never change. Not from playing original vinyl 45s, that is for sure. You know, if you're looking for an MP3 or you're looking for a CD, you're not going to get it on this show. You're only going to get original vinyl with scratches and maybe some pops, but sometimes a mint record, maybe styrene with some damage on the vinyl from being played with a worn needle or something, or a little Q burn in the beginning, but it's all authentic. Yes, it is. Excuse me. As we continue here, and on the last 50's show, I played a request for Daniel Kubacki, an ultra-rare 45 out of Philadelphia by a group called the Ebb Tides. Came out on Bernie Lowe's teen record label. It was called What Is Your Name, Dear? And I played the intended A-side, which featured a female lead. Her name was Betty McCann. And both, I think it was Daryl and I think George said that I had to play the flip side, or maybe there are more people that said that. I know I had all intentions of playing the flip side because it's a great two-sided 45. But the flip features a male lead. I think his name is Johnny Banks. I think that's the lead singer on this. Anyway, we go back to October 1956 with a B-side here by the Ebb Tides on the teen label. It's called Only Be Mine.
Only be mine. I'll lie for you, try for you, cry for you and buy for you. I'll die for you, wonder why for you. Darling, only be mine. I'll behave for you, be a slave for you, shout and rave for you, 'cause I crave for you, and I'll save for you, every day for you. Darling, only be mine. Be mine, be only mine, that it will be divine. My soul is yours, we'll entwine, well, forever till the end of time. I'll command for you, lead a band for you, love and land for you, and understand for you, let it end for you, be a man for you. Darling, only be mine. I'll lie for you, try for you, cry for you and buy for you. I'll die for you, wonder why for you.
Darling, wanna be my heart.
I'll be here for you, be a slave for you, shine red for you, 'cause I crave for you, and I'll save for you, every day for you.
Darling, wanna be my heart.
Be mine, be only mine, that it will be divine. My soul is yours, we'll entwine forever, forever till the end of time. I'll come after you, be the band for you, blah blah life for you and understand for you, let it hand for you, be a man for you.
Darling, wanna be my heart. Darling, wanna be my heart. Darling, wanna be my heart. Darling, wanna be my heart.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Ebb-Tides there, October 1956. On the Teen record label, that song called Only Be Mine, the flip side of What Is Your Name, Dear. This record pretty much impossible to find, but you can buy bootlegs on eBay. They shouldn't be that expensive. I think they come in color vinyl. I think before I got that record, a long, long time ago, I did have like a yellow vinyl copy of it. I kept it. I should be playing that record, but I don't. I mean, for my own listening pleasure, of course, but definitely not for you, the Vinyl Treasure listeners. You will hear the originals in every case. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue with the requests. This time for Joe Shacatano, we go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for this next group. They did two for Woody Hinderling's Bullseye record label, and this group called the Four Dots, not to be confused with the Four Dots out in California that did Pleading for Your Love. This is a group out of Pittsburgh, features Fletcher Williams on lead, and this co-written by Jimmy Breedlove. This is from June 1956, going out to Joe Shacatano, the Four Dots on Bullseye. It's called Peace of Mind.
Have you ever been lonely with trouble concealed inside? Have you ever wanted only to run and hide? Well, I used to worry and wonder from day to day. Now I don't worry since I got down on my knees to pray. Well, it seems he stood beside me and told me to have no fear, that he'll always be beside me when troubles appear. And if you want peace of mind, but don't know just what to do, down on your knees, he'll take the time to give you peace of mind.
As by request for Joe Shacatano, I'm going to send that one out also to George Tompkins. I know he likes that tune there by the Four Dots. The Four Dots from June 1956. on the Bullseye record label. Peace of Mind is the name of the tune. It features Fletcher Williams on lead, and he has a couple of solo records. At least I know I have one on the Bullseye label that he did in 1957. Let's continue here in the year 1956. Now we go back to Chicago, Illinois for this next group. They recorded two on Frank Evans' Ping record label, and this is their first one. It features Ralph Johnson on lead. This group is called the Debonaires, but they kind of spell their name D-E apostrophe. I think to differentiate their name with the many other debonair groups. There are many other groups that recorded as the Debonaires. I guess that was like a in thing to be. Hey, we're the Debonaires. We're really debonair. You know what that? Anyway, Johnny G babbling on, but I like this tune. November 1956. These are the Debonaires with Ralph Johnson on lead on the Ping label. It's called Lanky Linda. Lanky Linda.
Linda, 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 Lou, Linda, 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 I love you, Linda, 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 Lou. Lanky Linda, bidoo, bidoo, she's slim and tall, bidoo, 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 Lanky Linda, bidoo, bidoo, she's a real gun doll. Her waistline is small, she's sweet all around. On the dance floor, she really goes to town. Lanky Linda, you made me fall. Lanky Linda, got pretty eyes. Lanky Linda, she's a choicy bride. She's stacked up deep from her head to her feet. Everybody says she's my little treat. Lanky Linda, you man, all man. Her lips are cute, sweet as jam to kiss. Her heart is warm, you know that I can't resist. Lanky Linda, you made me fall. Lanky Linda, as you recall, you made me follow through. In return, I'll be loving you, Lanky Linda, as you recall. Linda, I love you most of all.
November 56 release there for the Debonaires. The Debonaires on the Ping label. P-I-N-G Records, the first of two. I think, the first of two, or is that their second one? I forget. Anyway, it's called Lanky Linda, and I think they have one more release. Came out on the B&F label. Also another, actually it was, I think later on became a reissue label, but that's more of a pop label. But there are some group things on that B&F label. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening, spinning 1950s and early 60s 45s. Hope you're digging on the tune. We are counting down the music. We are in the year 1956, and let's stay in Chicago, Illinois. This time, Vivian Carter's VJ record label. Now, D. Clark was a member of this group. He went on to have a big solo career, had some big hits, some soul hits later on in the 60s. Raindrops was one. He had a bunch of records, but he was first a member of this group before he went solo, but he's not doing lead on this. Someone by the name of John McCall. He is the lead singer on this, but he sounds like D. Clark, but it is not. But this is the first of two for this group on VJ. They're called the Cool Gents with a K. Koolgents. The Cool Gents. They recorded this in 1955. It was released in February 1956. Let's give it a spin. The Cool Gents on VJ with their tune called This Is the Night.
My night, this is my night, this is the night to bring back your love to me. Please, darling, believe in me. Yes, this is the night.
February 56 release there for the Cool Gents. Cool Gents on the VJ record label, the first of two. Their other one is great too, by the way, which I do have pulled, so stay tuned for that one. This is called This Is the Night. And I remember I bought, when I used to go to Louis Silvani's store in Dobbs Ferry, New York, he would get like the latest CDs that were coming in. And since I was driving back and forth to New Jersey, I had these long rides when I was working. I was a consultant for a company called Resources Global Professionals, and they used to like call up companies, and I used to backfill a lot of jobs. So one of the jobs, I think I was doing A&P audit work for them, doing some audit schedules, and I was driving, and they were over in, I think they were in New Jersey, I think they were. And then I also ended up going down to Sony BMG. That was a lot of fun to work for Sony BMG down in Times Square. I was there for 6 years, and then they would get me to all these other places. And I wanted to listen to music into the car. Sirius wasn't around yet, so I would buy these CDs. And I think he just got in like a VJ compilation and they were unreleased. I bought it really for the unreleased stuff that that was on that CD, and there was a version of this. I don't know if it was this version, but it definitely sounded different, and it was great. Some of the records, listen, don't get me wrong, I play original vinyl, but sometimes on these CDs, you hear things, the treble is more up, the bass is down, the treble is more up, and you get to hear other things in the background that you don't really hear on the vinyl. But I like to blast this song in my car. I had a Cadillac, a DTS. It wasn't the 2010, it was an earlier one, and I used to blast the music. Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the year 1956. Let's go out to California with a request for Nick Nicola, and I really can't tell you much about this group here, but maybe Amnon, you have some information on this group, but it's on Robert Sherman's Tampa label, which is out of Los Angeles, California, and I think it's the group's only release. It's with Earl Hyde and the orchestra. The group is called the Flannels, Flannels, and this came out in July 1956 on the Tampa label. So this is going out to Nick. The song is called So Shy.
So shy, that's why I stay away. So shy, it breaks my heart easy when all of the others are loving one another. I find that I'm looking on as I know why must I be this way when I'll see you time and time again. I know I must recover, or else your love will die, then I'll be left alone, so shy.
So shy, that's why I stay away. So shy, it breaks my heart each day when all the others are loving one another. I find that I am looking on inside.
Oh, why must I be this way when I'll see you time and time again? I know I must recover, or else your love will die, then I'll be left alone, so shy.
As by request for Nick Nicola, they're the Flannels from July 1956 on the Tampa label. It's called So Shy. I used to tell Barbara, I'm so shy. I'm so shy. You got to get me out of this shyness. And I don't think, I always had a hard time speaking in the front of the class. You know, when you have to do presentations in front of the class, it was always difficult. But you see, when you do it all the time, then it becomes very easy. It really does. Like being in front of this mic, I was so nervous. I cannot listen. And I think any DJ at least that I speak to, they can't listen to their early shows. It just sound awful. I sounded so stiff. I said, oh my God, how horrible my delivery is. But I'm kind of loosened up a little bit, just a little bit. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we go back, well, actually, no, we go back this, I had to check this when Charlene gave me this information, because this group is from East Chicago, Indiana. I said, is there an East Chicago, Indiana? And there is. There definitely is. And this is the group's only release, which came out on Leonard Chess's Checker label. Now, you would think, when you go to the record store to buy a 45 that you hear on the radio, I think the DJs would have a very difficult time giving the name of this this record, this song, because the title on the 45 is their initials. Do you have that record with the initials on it? They start with an M, because it's called MTYLTT. Can you, yes, I like number 42 there, MTYLTT. Well, evidently, those initials stand for more than yesterday, less than tomorrow. That's what really the name of the tune is, and I guess they didn't have enough room on the 45 to put that, but I think they could have done that. But anyway, let's give it a spin here. February 1957, they're called the Dream Kings. It's on the Checker label. It features Tom Daniels on lead. It's called MTYLTT, or the longer title, More Than Yesterday, Less Than Tomorrow.
That's how much I love you. Can't you realize from the darkened skies no sun will shine on us? So darling, hear my plea. Come on home to me and let me live again. That's why I say tomorrow. That's how much I love you. Can't you realize from the darkened skies no sun will shine on us? So darling, hear my plea. Come on home to me and let me live again.
February 1957 release there for the Dream Kings. The Dream Kings on the Checker label. Tom Daniels, he's the lead singer. MTYLTT is More Than Yesterday, Less Than Tomorrow. And there's some other, what Reed mentioned, there's a couple other things. LSMFT. Lucky Strikes mean fine tobacco. What label is that? Oh, what label is that on? Read that record, that Metal Larks record. Is that the RPM flip? No, that can't be. It's not that one anyway. We'll find out. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here, and we go back to Harlem, New York, for a request for Daniel Kubacki. This is the last release for Richard Barrett and the Valentines on George Goldner's Rama record label. This was their 7th release. The A-side was called Don't Say Goodnight, which Richard Barrett, he did not do lead on that. It was Carl Hogan. He was a lead singer on that. But Daniel requested the flip side, which does feature Richard Barrett. This one from April 1957, the Valentines on the Rama label. It's called I Cried, Oh, Oh.
As I walk down in the valley with my head bowed way down low, with the blues a burden on my shoulder, my baby's packed and ready to go, and I cried, oh, 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 oh. As I fell down on my knees to cry, a voice to me did say, get off your knees and stop that crying, 'cause tomorrow's a brighter day. And I cried, oh, 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 on my shoulder I felt a hand, and glad as I could be, I turned around with tears in my eyes. Oh, baby, won't you hear me plead? And I cried, oh, 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 baby, don't you love me? Oh, won't you tell me, please? Put your loving arms around me and take me out of my misery. And I cried, oh, 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 baby, 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 baby.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's a request for Daniel Kubacki, the final release for the Valentines on the Rama record label, April 1957. I Cried, Oh, Oh. Richard Barrett on lead there, the flip side of Don't Say Goodnight. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and here is a pretty rare 45, and this is a request for Nick Nicola. This is on Steve Hodges' Atomic record label. I had difficulty in finding out who had the first release of this, but I think this is the first release. It was covered by a girl group called the Teen Clefs on the Dice label, but this artist goes by the name of Dennis Brown, and on this side, though, it doesn't give mention to the group. It does on the flip side, but there is a group on this. They're called the Atomics, although they are not mentioned. But The song was originally released in February 1957, and I think the same month the Teen Clefs version also came out. But this 45 has no writer credits on the label, so maybe, I don't know, maybe this isn't the first issue of it. Who knows? But it's a great tune. This is by request for Nick Nicola. I think this copy originally at one time belonged to one of the listeners that he is not in our chat room tonight, George Tompkins. This might have been his first copy of this record, and now I have it. Gee, what are the odds of that happening? I don't know. But anyway, by request for Nick Nicola, February 57, Dennis Brown and the Atomics on the Atomic label. It's called Hiding My Tears with a Smile.
Must I go on wearing a smile, keeping up this crazy disguise, when all the while I'm thinking that I'm right, I'm just living in a fake love. I cannot understand why we are apart. I gave you all my love and you broke my heart. I'll still be gay, and as long as I'm in, I'm just hiding my tears with some more.
Johnny G getting caught here. Hold on a second, folks. I'm trying to read something here. Ephraim. Okay. The lead singer is mentioned on this next song there. Oh, the joy of live radio. As you can watch me. You can watch all the mistakes that Johnny G makes. Anyway, that's by request for Nick Nicola, Dennis Brown and the Atomics, February 1957 on the Atomic label. It's called Hiding My Tears with a Smile. Yes, very rare 45. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we are in the year 1957. This next group, they're out of Beckley, West Virginia. And this group, they played their own instruments, and they're called Reuben Siggers and his Fabulous Cool Cats. And this label is out of, is it Roncy Verde, West Virginia. Did I say that right, Daryl? I'm going to go to you with the pronunciations on these states here, because Johnny G is just drawing a blank here. But this is a request for George Tompkins here. This is actually not an easy record to find either. It's on Spinks Records. It's from 1957. They're Reuben Siggers and his Fabulous Cool Cats, and Ephraim Siggers is on lead, Siggers, and he is the lead singer. I think that's his brother. The song is called Those Love Me Blues, going out to George.
some more shoes because of you. I've got those lovely blues, lovely blues. The only way to get along is to be good to my heart. There's talk and more action on your part. More of this loving, it's good to my heart. I've got those love me blues. My love for you will always be true. My heart's in a fit. I've got those lovely blues. The only way to get along is to be good to my heart. Let's talk and more action on your part. More of this loving, it's good to my heart. I've got those love me blues. My love for you will always be true. My heart's in a fix. I've got those love me blues. I've got those love me blues. I've got those love me blues.
As by request for George Tompkins there, we're going to send that one out also to Ginger Hermit. She is in our YouTube chat room. We send out this cool record by Reuben Siggers and his fabulous Cool Cats, 1957 release on the Spinks label. Those Love Me Blues is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We're here from 10 to 1 a.m. My last show, I was here till like quarter to two, 45 minutes of Vinyl Treasure overtime. But to thank you all for all your requests and for tuning into the show and supporting the show and sending me emails. You can send me emails at vinyltreasures@aol.com if you have a favorite request or a favorite song. I normally do not play hits here. I do have a hit, believe it or not, coming from 1960 when we get to that year, but that might be one that many of you will know, but you probably don't know many of these records at all. They were like regional hits possibly, or they are just rare records that you, the listeners, very knowledgeable listeners we have here on Top Shelf Oldies and the Vinyl Treasure Show. So let's continue here, and here's one for young Evan Blatt. I think a couple weeks ago I played this group's second release. It was called She's Mine. I think I opened up the show with that, but I'm talking about a group called the Guy Tones, and they had 5 releases on Sid Nathan's deluxe record label, and Evan requested their final one, their 5th one here, and again it features James Brown Robinson on lead. We go to July of 1958, going out to Evan. These are the Guy Tones on deluxe. It's called Tell Me, parentheses, How Was I to Know?
Down, baby, down, baby, down, baby, whoa. Down, baby, down, baby, down, baby, whoa. Down, baby, down, baby, down, baby, whoa. How was I to know?
Oh, how was I to know that you love me so? Did you give me the eye when you passed me by? Oh, how was I to slip
As by request for Evan Blatt there, July 58 release for the Guy Tones. The Guy Tones, James Brown Robinson on lead. It's on Deluxe Records. All their records are pretty good. I love the Guy Tones. Tell me, parentheses, how was I to know, as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we are in the year 1958. And here is a request for Joe Shacatano. He likes the ballads. He tells me all the time, ballads, 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 but you know I mix it up. Slow, medium, up-tempo ballads. I try to kind of get a flow to the show. That's always how I worked it. But this next artist, he's from Durant, Mississippi. He wanted to be a boxer, but that never really panned out for him. Instead, his career turned to music. He was singing and songwriting, and this is his debut, 45, which came out on the 4-Star record label that really is not known for this type of music. It's known more for country or maybe some country boppers possibly, but this is his debut single. It's a song he wrote. This one from June 1958. His name is Jim Holiday. It's Jim Holiday and the Future Tones on a country label, 4-Star Records, from June 58. This is going out to Joe. It's called All I Want Is You.
I don't want the moon, don't want the stars, don't want Venus, don't want Mars. All I want is you. Don't want no gold, no diamond. Don't want no queen or any other girl. All I want is you. Oh, darling, why can't you see what you mean to me? I want to make you my wife. But if you should say no, where would I go? And what would I do with my life? No, I don't want the sun, don't want the sky. My heart would tell me when I look in your eyes. All I want is you. All I want is you. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me you want me to. No, 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 no. No one else will do.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there, June 1958, Jim Holiday and the Future Tones on the 4-Star record label. It's called All I Want Is You. Now, of course, he would change his name to Jimmy Holiday with releases on the Everest label, KT, Kent, Diplomacy, Tip, Dial, Minute, and others. And until 1970. In 1963, he had his biggest hit. He had the original version of How Can I Forget, which was also covered by Benny King. That's a cool tune, by the way. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we spin original vinyl 45s. Up next is a request for listener Amnon. And now, Amnon, I don't have, although Charlene, when Amnon sent me his request. Did he give you any information on this group? That's why I forward you his email. He might have said something about this group. I'm not sure, but they're on United Artists. They're called the Four Horsemen. Charlene, did he say anything about this group on that email? Because sometimes I can't see it on my phone. I just forward you the info because he copies it in. Anyway, but this is the intended B-side of the 45, and the writers here are Buddy Lucas. We opened up with Buddy Lucas. He co-wrote this song with someone else, Bob Lee maybe, I don't know, but this is from July 58, the Four Horsemen going out to Amnon on United Artists. It's called A Long, Long Time.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. My dear, it's been a long, long time since you said you were mine. Oh, long, long time. My dear, please never, never leave me. Darling, please hear my plea.
As by request for Amnon, listener Amnon, July 1958 release for the Four Horsemen on United Artists Records, A Long, Long Time. And when I went to Sleepy Hollow High School, we used to have, they were the Headless Horsemen. That's what I would call my group, the Headless Horsemen. Johnny G babbling on here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. Here we go with a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. And I was looking for this record in my T boxes, and I knew I had it checked off because I had it checked off in 45 Cat. So I knew I had the record, but I've never featured it here on the show. And believe it or not, I had it in the box to play for a number of years. I never got the chance to play it until Matey requested this one. So Matey, I'm surprised you even know this song because it's not really a common record. This is a male-female duet out of New York City. I really don't know anything else about them. The song was written probably by Julius Dixon. I'd have to say that. But the duo goes by the name of Tiny and Tim. And Tiny, I think she's the gal. Maybe she's a tiny gal, who knows. But it's from September 1958. It's on the OK record label. This is by request for Matey Campboy, Tiny and Tim on OK. It's called Love at First Sight for Matey.
In love at first sight,
and your heart skips a beat. You get a feeling and your heart skips a beat. Then you know it wasn't by chance we should meet. Come unto me and take my heart. I knew we'd love, yes, right from the start. For I do believe, yes, I believe in love at first sight. Now I believe in love at first sight. Now I believe in love at first sight, because it happened to me tonight. 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 Tonight.
September 1958 release there on OK Records. Tiny and Tim is the name of the duet. It's by request for Matey Campboy. It's called Love at First Sight. A very nice tune there, Matey. Thank you for requesting that. Had that to play for a number of years. Didn't play it. I remember buying it from Spence when he sold me the record a number of years ago, but I had it in the box. You know how I do those testing of records. It was there, but then when Matey requested it, I saw it there. I says, this gotta be a good song. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we head to New Haven, Connecticut now. This is a rare 45 on Clarence Drum's Drum record label. And this is a request for listener Joe Shacatano. This group, they're called the Five Chestnuts. They backed up a number of artists on other labels. I think Drum Records was one. And they're backing up Norvin Baskerville here. Norvin Baskerville and the Five Chestnuts is the request for Joe Shacatano from 1958 on Drum Records. It's called My One and Only Love.
My one and only love. My one and only love. My one and only love. My one and only love.
My one and my only love will last till eternity. A kiss and a warm embrace will bring eternal love for mine to and me. She promised she never leave me or never break my heart. But now my heart is pain. She's on her way to hurting and breaking my heart. My one and my only love.
excuse me, by request for Joe Shacatano. Joe, that's a cool tune, and actually an expensive 45 too, by the way. But that's Norvin Baskerville and the Five Chestnuts, 1958 release on the Drum record label. My One and Only Love. These Five Chestnuts, they also backed up Bill Baker and Ruby Whittaker. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging here on the tunes. If you want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Send me your requests, 1950s and early 60s 45s. If I have the record, I'll try to spin it for you. I am trying to get my collection in order here, at least my mid-1960s stuff, which I'm getting through, but I couldn't find everything that was requested last week. But I did find some. Amnon, I found that T-Birds on Vegas, so that'll be on the next All 60s show. But let's continue here, and here is a request for Joe Shacatano. This is on Clark Gale House's Golden Crest label. And this group is known as the Senators, not the same group out of Washington, D.C. that recorded on the Win label. This group probably out of Long Island. Golden Crest Records was out of Long Island. And Golden Crest, they put a lot of the local groups and singers on that label. So if you were local, and Acme Records was another label out of Long Island. But anyway, this is going out to George Tompkins, October 58 release by the Senators. It's a rare 45 too on Golden Crest. It's called Poor Little Puppet.
Why did I fall in love with you? For now my world is blue. You hold the strings in your hands, and I'm at your command. I'm a poor little puppet, just a poor little puppet.
By request for George Tompkins. Johnny G losing his mind tonight. That's going out to George Tompkins there. The Senators, October 1958 release, Golden Crest Records, Poor Little Puppet, Styrene. I hate Styrene 45s. And today when I took that record out of the sleeve, the label's starting to peel off. And I need suggestions on sticking these labels back. I'm so paranoid. I don't want to use Elmer's glue. Maybe there's that, I was talking to Dave the Rave. He told me about there's some kind of like a chapstick type thing that you can like rub on the plastic and it'll stick on. That sounds like I don't want to put any kind of wet glue on the on the paper. So I just don't want it to come off. That's what I get crazy about. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. And last week I played a request for Emnon. He requested Faith Taylor and the Sweet Teens. And the song called Your Candy Kisses. That was their debut single on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. She was about 11 or 12 years old when she recorded that song. And Emnon also wants me to flip it over, and I think Nick Nicola mentioned in the chat room that we needed to flip this 45 over. So we're going to send this one out to Emnon and Nick from August 58, their first release on Federal for Faith Taylor and the Sweet Teens. It's called Won't Someone Tell Me Why? That's going out to Amnon, also going out to Nick Nicola there. Faith Taylor and the Sweet Teens, August 1958. That's their debut single, Sid Nathan's Federal Records, Won't Someone Tell Me Why? Both sides, some cool up-tempo sides by that girl group. No, actually, it's really can't be. John Clemente will holler at me. Can't be considered a girl group because there's a male in that group. And yes, Daryl, their second release came out on the B and Baby record label. I have that 45 too, by the way. I do. I don't know if I featured it here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Anyway, let's continue here. We are in the year 1958, and a couple weeks ago I played a request for Joe Shacatano. He requested the Raindrops, a group out of Sacramento, California, with Henry Houston on lead. Played the Vega 45 from May 58 called Dim Those Lights. I think, Daryl, you requested the flip of this. So we'll give this one a spin before it goes back down in the no humidity basement. So going out to Daryl Letts, May 58, the Raindrops, Henry Houston on lead, Vega Records. It's called Oh, Oh, Baby.
Oh, 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 baby, don't you see me now? Don't love you, baby, won't you somehow? Don't you see me, baby, don't love you, baby, don't you now? Don't leave me now. You know
That's by request for Daryl Letts there. That's Henry Houston. Henry Houston on Lead with the Raindrops, May 1958 on the Vega label. It's called, the flip side of Dim Those Lights. Dim Those Lights I played last week. It's called Oh Oh Baby. And, of course, Henry Houston also, he sang with the Cufflinks, the later Cufflinks. What's the name of the tune? Johnny G drawing a blank here. But anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, as we move into 1959 now last 2 weeks ago, I featured the Five Satins by request for Amnon. He requested their release on Another First Records, a label owned by Dick Lawrence. And the song was called Skippity Doo. And who was it? It was... I think it was Daryl and no, Charlene's telling me here it was Daryl Letts and Andrew Turner asked me to flip this 45 over. It is a great two-sided 45 by the Five Satins, a group out of New Haven, Connecticut. But this here from May 59, let's give it a spin. Fred Paris and the Five Satins on Another First. That's the name of the label. It's called When Your Love Comes Along.
No one knows what I go through, and the tears I shed for you. When your love comes along, you will know she's meant for you.
I'll send that one out to Andrew Turner and Daryl Letts. Those are the Five Satins. That is Fred Paris and the Five Satins, May 1958 release on Another First Records, When Your Love Comes Along, one of those special deal labels, three-way deal, trio of record label owners, Dick Lawrence, George Goldner and Al Silver. You know, these record label guys, they had to, they kind of had to grease each other's palms in a lot of these label dealings. They owed favors for, publishing and writer credits and all that. But too bad that wasn't a hit. By the way, that comes two ways. The orange label press is the first way. Also comes like on a light lime green color, which is the second release, according to the books. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool 45s here. We do it every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boy, I need my coffee. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, I have an ultra rare 45, and Jerry Diaz sold me this one a long, long time ago. It's on the Carthay record label out of Hollywood, California. It's 1608 North Argyle Avenue, if anybody knows where that is in Hollywood, California. I know nothing of this group. They're called the Galaxies. I think the only other person I know that had this record, Brian, Rockin' Chick Brian, at least Brian knew someone who had this record, I think. I know that. But Charlene says, or evidently I had some information here, and I don't know if it's correct, that Eddie Cochran might be on guitar. I don't know. Daryl, do you find that with this record? But it's a rare 45, August 59. They're called the Galaxies on the Carthay label. It's called A Lover's Prayer.
Heavenly Father, Heavenly Father, please hear my plea. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Father,
There's a girl that I love. Keep her safe. Keep her sound. No matter where she may be found. A lover's prayer. Dear Father, help me to be the kind of boy she wants to see. Keep us together, faithful forever, loving always, parting never. A lover's prayer. My darling, I love you so, my dear. And I hope, my darling, you and I will never, ever part, my dear. I cry for you, my darling, like a mother cries for its child, my dear. Oh, darling, it's true. What I say to you.
That's a rare 45 there by the Galaxies. Galaxies, August 1959. That gal sounds like she could be about 11, possibly. Guy sounds a little older to me, but the Galaxies there on the Carthay record label, really a rare 45. That one is A Lover's Prayer is the name of the tune. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, we go to Detroit, Michigan for a request for Matey Campboy. This is on the Anna label. This is a duet with Johnny Bristol and Jackie Beavers. They recorded as Johnny and Jackie on the Anna label. This is the first of two they recorded on Anna. And this was a big number 3 record on KFXM in San Bernardino, California. We go to December of 1959. This is going out to Matey. It's Johnny and Jackie on the Anna label. Their tune is called Lonely and Blue.
I haven't got a girl, but I pray you'll help me find the girl for me, the girl of my dreams. Whoa, lonely and blue, lonely and blue. I'm so lonely and blue, lonely and blue. I'm so lonely and blue, lonely and blue. Without a love of my own, without a love of my own. Whoa, Heavenly Father, I'm so lonely and blue, in misery. Please, please, dear God, send her to me, and I'll love her, love her, love her for eternity. Whoa, lonely and blue, lonely and blue. I'm so lonely and blue, lonely and blue.
As by request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, she requested Johnny and Jackie, Johnny Bristol, Jackie Beavers there. First of two on the Anna record label, Lonely in Blue from December 1959. They have other releases on the Tri-Fi record label. I know she requested one I am looking for. It shouldn't really be that hard to find. There was a copy on eBay. I asked the guy, he had the picture, the wrong picture, but the right record. So I'm like, which is correct? But he never got back to me. What am I supposed to say? Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We are in 1959. Two more records to go before we move into 1960. And this is a rare 45. This group is out of Honolulu, Hawaii. And I think we were talking about Hawaiian labels and Hawaiian groups. I think Nick Nicola, he asked that he would like to hear this song. And in 1958, this group was known as the Jolly Drifters, and they backed up Robin Luke on Bertram International. And but they have two releases as the Royal Drifters, and this is their first of two that came out on the Teen label. I think this label is out of Honolulu, Hawaii. I think I know the group is for sure, but it was written by group member Rudy Molina, who I think is also doing lead here. So we'll send this one out to Nick from June 59, the Royal Drifters on Teen Records. It's called Little Linda.
Come back, little Linda, and give me one more chance. Little Linda, oh, where can you be? I love you forever. You know it's only me, oh, little Linda. Take my love, take my life, dear. Won't you say that you're mine? Let me know that you love me. Let my arms with yours entwine, oh, little Linda. Little Linda. Though we're apart, I know it's true. Our love can bring me back to you. Just close your eyes and say a prayer, and I'll be there. All I ask is you to be true to me in every way. Be kind and understanding. Love me more with each passing day. Oh, little Linda. Little Linda. Little Linda. Oh, though we're
That's going out to Nick Nicola there. The Royal Drifters, June 59 release. It's on the teen label Little Linda, the first of two they recorded on the teen label. The records, actually, okay, more information here. The records were pressed in Los Angeles at the Monarch pressing plant, so they weren't pressed in Hawaii. But that doesn't mean the label wasn't out of Hawaii. That is for sure. But anyway, and mine's a nice copy there, but it kind of plays a little crackly, and as some records do, unfortunately. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. We continue here. Here's a request for Joe Shacatano. This group is out of Jersey City, New Jersey. They consisted of all Italian guys: Dom D'Amico, Mike Fazio, Victor Fiorello, Joseph Paruso, and Dom Verney. Collectively, they were known as the Holidays, and this appears to be their only release on the PAM label. This is by request for Joe Shacatano, 1959. These are the Holidays with their tune called Refreshing.
You're refreshing as the roses to the dew. I go crazy every time I look at you, for I adore you from your head down to your toe. You excite me with one look from your sweet eyes. I go crazy every time I realize that I adore you from your head down to your toe. But since you went away, my heart has gone astray. You told me that you love me. I said, tell me, darling, tell me, darling, tell me. You're an angel from the heavens up above. You are someone that I truly, truly love, and I adore you from your head down to your toe.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there, the Holidays. The Holidays from 1959, a group out of Jersey City, New Jersey, came out on the PAM label. I have a couple records on this label, I do. It's a song entitled Refreshing. Hopefully Johnny G not refreshing your pocketbooks tonight. I know a lot of guys that are collecting the music, they write down the titles. It's amazing, but I guess when you've been collecting since your high school days, of course, I came out in the era of the disco. So I graduated high school in 1976, so I was buying like KC and the Sunshine Band and the Steve Miller Band, and I actually played the Partridge Family, believe it or not, for Byron last week. I closed the show with that. And Joe, you missed that record. Joe Shacatano missed that record. But anyway, but my aunt was the one that really got me introduced into this type of music, 1950s and early 60s. And again, I became a collector. And this next record, which is actually a request for Nat Papagallo, but this is the kind of, she had this 45 in her collection, and that's of course when I first heard it. Of course I was only 58, 9, 60. I was only like 2 years old when this record came out, but it's a request for Nat Papagallo. I'm good for one hit a show. I normally do not play hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, but let's go to February of 1960 for the Great Flamingos. When they signed with George Gollner and his N record label, they became like really worldwide stars, they did. And Nat requested this cool tune written by Sam Cooke that actually did very well for the group. It was number 42 on Cashbox, number 30 on Billboard. It was number 23 on the R&B charts, and it was a number 2 record on KYA in San Francisco, California. Now, the copy I have, you will not find the white label end here on the East Coast. You will find it on the West Coast, though, because the Monarch pressing plant was pressing up End records on the white label during this time, February or 1960. Here on the East Coast, they were doing the multicolor ends. But this is this one has a different flip. Besame Mucho, I think that's the name of it, because the flip side here on the East Coast is You, Me, and the Sea that Nat requested. That'll come next week on another 45. But anyway, this is going out to Nat Papagallo. I love this record. I hope I do not get a copyright strike on it, though, because I know Nate Nelson and Terry Johnson are dual leads on this, and Terry Johnson, he has some copyright things out there, so we'll see. But anyway, going out to Nat, February 1960, the Flamingos on the N label. It's called Nobody Loves Me Like You Do.
Oh, my darling, I just love you so. There's one thing that I want you to know, and that's no one can hold me like you. No one can kiss me like you. No one loves me like you do. Everything that I say and do, I do and say it, baby, just for you, because no one can hold me like you. No one can kiss me like you. No one loves me like you do. Whenever I'm with you, I feel so divine. There's one thing that you can do for me, that's tell me that you're mine, mine, oh mine. Everything that I say and do, I do and say it, baby, just for you, because no one can hold me like you. No one can kiss me like you. No one loves me like you do. Everything that I say and do, I do and say it, baby, just for you, because no one can hold me like you. No one can kiss me like you. No one loves me like you do. Oh, hey, 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 hey,
As by request for Nat Papagallo, listening in Naples, Florida, the Flamingos there. Flamingos with their hit February 1960 on the N label, Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening when we continue here. And here's a request for Evan Blatt. We go to Columbus, Ohio for this next group. And this is their, this one came out on a label called Cordial, and it was written by the lead singer. His name is Ron Rysar, and this one is from 1960. Let's give a listen to the Cordials. The Cordials on the Cordial label. That's interesting. It's called I'm Ashamed. This is going out to Evan.
Just wouldn't be true. I know that I was only a fool.
As by request for Evan Blatt there, a group called The Cordials, 1960 release on the Cordial label, I'm Ashamed. And I don't know, Charlene, I don't know if they could have become the Carrions and recorded two for Indigo. That would be out on the West Coast. Unless they went out to the West Coast. I got to double check that information. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we continue here. And here's a request for listener Amnon. This group is out of Brooklyn, New York. And they're called the Neons. Of course, their first release came out on the Tetra label. It was called Angel Face. But, this is the wrong write-up I copied in here. But Amnon requested their release on the Gone record label. Oh, I copied the Tetra info. That's not correct. Anyway, this one is from 1960. This is these are the Neons here. Frank Vingari is on lead. Gone Records. The song is called Golden Dreams.
Golden dreams of you. Golden dreams of you. I fell asleep last night with a broken heart. I never thought you'd leave me at the start. I prayed so hard, my darling, that we would never part. Oh, golden dreams of you. Oh, golden dreams of you. Dreams of you. I love you, darling. I love you so. I want all the world to know. You and I, darling, will never part. Please stay here in my heart. I've got a broken heart, 'cause I never thought you'd leave me at the start. I prayed so hard, my darling, that we would never part. Oh, golden dreams of you. Oh, my golden dreams of you.
As by request for Amnon there, the Neons with Frank Vignari on lead. June 1960 release, came out on George Goldner's Gone label. A song entitled Golden Dreams. They flipped it with their hit, or their first release, Angel Face, as a reissue. I guess they didn't record another song. It's too bad. They should have, because that's a nice tune. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. One more record in 1960 here. And on the last 50's edition, I played a request for Matey Campboy for this group out of San Pedro, California. They were called The Chants. And the side I featured, or the side that Matey requested, was their version of Heaven and Paradise, originally done by Don Julian and the Meadowlarks. The flip side is another cover that was done by the Moonglows, and Reed requested this side. But they're great. Both sides of this 45 are excellent. Let's go to November of 1960. Give a listen to The Chants. The Chants, Chants. It's on the Night Owl label. It features Arthur Lee Sprewell on lead. This is going out to Reed, their rendition of the tune When I'm With You.
What makes my heart turn upside down and my head goes spinning, round and round. It only happens when I'm with you. And as the tears fall from my eyes and I realize it only happens when I'm with you. As time rolls by, I tell myself that I am living in a wonderland that I just can't seem to understand. And as the tears fall from my eyes and never realize it only happens when I'm with you. Oh yes, it only happens when I'm with you.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's going out to Reed King in our YouTube chat room. Also, Matey Campboy, she likes that record, both sides. I do too. It's a great 45, I have to tell you. And the original on that comes out on the kind of like a reddish maroon Night Owl record label, but they're called The Chance. The Chance there, November 1960, When I'm With You, a nice cover of the Moonglows tune. We continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move into 1961 now, and a couple weeks ago played a request for George Tompkins, Ronnie Cates, and the Travelers on the Terrace record label. The song was called Long Time. Let's flip it over here because they do a nice rendition of this tune on the flip. It's a cool up tempo from September 1961. Give a listen to Ronnie Cates. Daryl, did you request the flip side of this? I don't know, because I kind of am winging this at this point, and I have to check Charlene if she told me any notes here on record number 39. No, it did not. Nobody requested it, but we're going to play it anyway. So this is a cool rendition of the tune Old Man River, September 61. It's Ronnie Cates and the Travelers on Terrace. The song is called Old Man River.
That old man river, that old man river, he must know something, but he don't say nothing.
He's just a rolling along.
He don't plant potatoes, he don't plant cotton, but them that has them are soon forgotten.
Rolling along.
Rolling along, now you and me, sweat and strain, bodies all aching, racked with pain. But that one is that river. that old man in the river, he's tired of living that scared of rolling along.
Well, it's Ronnie Cates and the Travelers there, September 1961 release on the Terrace label. Old Man River, that's the flip side of Long Time. And Long Time comes out with another flip side, by the way, which I do have. I think I wrote it down here in my notes. Maybe I did not. Anyway, maybe I did not. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue. We are in the year 1961. Let's head out to Jackson, Mississippi for this next request. Going out to George Tompkins. Came out on the Copa label. And this artist also from Jackson, Mississippi. I think this is his debut single. A song he wrote. He would go on to have many soul releases on many different labels. Athena, USA, Soundstage 7, and way into the early 1970s, believe it or not. But his name is Sam Baker. And this is a pretty hard 45 to find, believe it or not. This one and another one, a girl group record on the Copa label. But this is from 1961. His name is Sam Baker. Sam Baker on the Copa label. The tune is called So Long. This is going out to George Tompkins. As by request for George Tompkins there. That is a cool tune there by Sam Baker, Rare 45 from 1961 on the Copa label. Wish I had a better copy. Found that at one of my trips to Allentown, PA. Ralph Barton, who is no longer with us, a dealer from, I think, Atlanta, Georgia, would drive up to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I would get a lot of Southern records from him. And I bought a bunch of records from him. 4-figure deal. He gave me like 40% off. But I paid a lot, or I spent a lot, I should say, and that was one of the records I got there. I kind of got to his table early. Some of them were not in great shape. Others were in okay. Sylvester Stewart I got on Luke, a nice mint copy of that, and some other great records I did. Anyway, that's a cool tune going out to George Tompkins. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We move into 1962 now. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago, Joe Shacatano requested The Reflections, a group from Queens, New York. They had 2 releases on the Crossroads label, a label out of Flushing, New York. And Joe requested their version of Because of You from June of 1962. But let's flip the 45 over here. I had it, the flip side, to play for a couple of weeks before I file it back down in the no humidity basement. So let's flip it over here. It's a pretty cool up-tempo from June 62. Give a listen to the Reflections on the Crossroads label. It's called Rocket to the Moon.
I'll take a rocket to the moon, guided missile all the way there, just to find someone who will care. I'll take a rocket to the moon. I'll take a rocket to the moon, guided missile, and take it out of space. Can't seem to find no one to take your place, since you have done me wrong. I've searched all over this restless, restless world, and I can't seem to find the one and only girl. I looked all around, but now I have to go to find another love. I'll take a rocket to the moon, guided missile, and take it out of space. Can't seem to find no one to take your place, since you have done me wrong. I've searched all over this restless, restless world, and I can't seem to find the one and only girl. I looked all around, but now I have to go to find another love. I'll take a rocket to the moon, guided missile, and take it out of space. Can't seem to find no one to take your place. I'll take a rocket to the moon.
That group called The Reflections there. I think that's their first of 2. I know they have 2 releases on the Crossroads label, June 62 release. Rocket to the Moon is the name of the tune. Johnny G not taking any rockets to the moon, not lately, but let's continue here. We are in 1962 for a request for Matey Campboy. This group is from Gonzales, Texas. They recorded 8 singles on Charles Fitch's Sarge, I think I said that right, Charlene, Sarge Records out of Luling, Texas. Matey requested their 5th, written by the group's saxman, Oscar S. Grant, and that's why when you look at this record on the title of the group, it's O.S. Grant. That's Oscar S. Grant. He's the sax player, but the group is called the Downbeats. Now, the lead singer on this is Charles Lightlerd. Charles Lightlerd, he is the lead singer on this. So we go back to July 1962. This is going out to Matey Campboy, O.S. Grant, and the Downbeats on Sarge Records. It's called You Did Me Wrong.
Took my love, pretty baby. been experienced, and I know what you're trying to do. Don't try to write me. I'll call me on the phone. Just pack your clothes and come on back home. You did me wrong, yeah, but you didn't care. You did me wrong. Don't know how my pretty baby, my poor heart can bear. You did me wrong, yeah. Took my love and now you're gone. Oh, baby. Hey, yeah.
As by request from Matey Campboy there. That's a cool tune. I remember I bought that a long time ago. First time I heard it, I love that tune. That's going out to Matey Campboy, July 62. O.S. Grant and the Downbeats on the Sarge label, You Did Me Wrong. They actually have quite a few nice releases on the Sarge record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening as we start to wind down here. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or 7 45s we're going to continue with here. And here's a request for Cheryl Morgan. She requested this group out of Cleveland, Ohio. Their initial release, though, was on the Warwick label, not the Warwick label with the tokens, a Warwick label out of Cleveland, Ohio in 1961. They followed it with other releases on Brunswick, then 2 on the Big Top label. And let's give a listen to their second on Brunswick, which was, on Big Top, which was a top 20 record on WHK in Cleveland, Ohio. And it features Robert D. Pasquale on lead. This is by request for Cheryl Morgan, August 62, The Visions on Big Top. It's called Secret World, parentheses, of Tears.
In my secret world of tears, dreams are dying. In my secret world of tears, hopes are flying.
Jazz by Request for Cheryl Morgan there. Those are the Visions. Visions from August 1962 on the Big Top record label Secret World, parentheses of Tears. Now, they would eventually become the backup group for Bacchi and the Visions, and Bacchi was really Robert Di Pasquale. I think that happened in 1964. This tune co-written by Richie Adams and the lead there, Robert Di Pasquale. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Let's move into we are in 1962, and this is a cover tune up next. This is a request for Evan Blatt. The Students actually did this song back in 1958, but many artists recorded it through the years, and this version is done by a gal. She was discovered by Johnny Madera and David White, and she passed away in January of 2014, but she started recording for Bob Marcucci's Chancellor label, and this is the A-side to her third release on the Chancellor label. She's backed up here by Danny and the Juniors, and this charted number 35 on WNON in York, Pennsylvania. So by request for Evan Blatt, January 62, Miss Maureen Gray on Chancellor, and her rendition of the tune, I'm So Young.
I have a boyfriend. He says I'm his only one. We want to get married, but we're so young, so young. Can't marry no They say our love is just a teenage affection, but no one calls direction. So young, can't marry no one. I'm so Pretty soon now, just wait and see. We'll be growing up, then we won't be so young. Can't marry no one, no one, no one, no one.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there by request for Evan Blatt, Maureen Gray being backed up by Danny and the Juniors, January 62 on the Chancellor label. Her rendition of the Students tune, I'm So Young. We continue here. We head back out to California. The sound of East LA up next on the Vinyl Treasure Show. This is by request for Matey Campboy. This is the debut single for this group from Tulare, California. Came out on the North Ridge record label. This one from May of 1963, going out to Matey Campboy. Give a listen to the Charades on the Northridge label. It's called For You.
Ah
As by request from Eddie Campoy there, I got an edge warp on that 45. Eddie Estrada, where is my refund on that record? I bought that a long time ago from a dealer out in California, Eddie Estrada. The Charades there, it's actually a rare record, believe it or not. The Charades there by request from Eddie Campoy, May 63 on the Northridge record label, song entitled For You. They have other cool releases on the Ava label, Original Sound Records also. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. 1, 2, 3, 4 more 45s to go here. Now this next song, believe it or not, I subscribe to I forget his name, but he's been posting, he's back to posting clips from American Bandstand. And he had last week, he posted a clip from a show from November 9th of 1963. And really, I get excited with the Raider records. I know my the Sunday night DJ, my buddy Dave the Rave, also we have watched the American Bandstand clips, and we do look at the Raider records. I don't know, I can't tell you how many times we were looking for some of those records, and they're kind of hard to find. They're pretty much obscure. Some, of course, have gone on to become big hits, but others have not. Like that Dan Rogers, I'd Be Lost Without You. Ask Dave how much he paid for that 45. But I was lucky to find that one cheap at $75. But anyway, I was listening to the show, and there wasn't really anything so exciting that he played that day. He played like the Dovell, Stop Your Monkeying Around. So then he came, and then the artists, of course, that lip sync their songs. I would think it was what's his name from Connecticut that was on there? Gene Pitney, and I forget the other singer. They weren't there. That's too bad. But they got the Raider Records segment. So I heard this song, and I'm going, what is this record? It's like some kind of, it actually has some great harmony to it. So I researched the artist, and I saw that it was on the Lawn label. Of course, he was in Philadelphia at the time and actually was associated with Lawn Records at one point. But he mentioned it's Bob Murphy. Bob Murphy, and the song is called Hey You. So I went to check my Ken Klee book, and I had it checked off. So I went looking for the record, and I cleaned it the other night, and someone made a comment. I forget who it was, but he made a comment that he was looking for the 45, and I said that I had the record, and I was going to play it tonight. And I know he was in the chat room before, so I don't know if you're still listening. If you're still in the chat room, if not, you can come back or you'll listen on the archive. But you can send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. So I had the record. So the three judges, they loved the record. They rated it like 80. It got like an 87 or an 86.5 or something. It beat out the Pennies, which I had that 45 too. The Pennies on World International, I think I have that record also. But anyway, I said I was going to feature it on my show tonight. So this is the song that they rated 87 on Raider Record. I'm going to give the release date of November 63. It's on the Lawn label. It's by Bob Murphy, and he's got girls backing him up on this. It's called Hey You.
Tell me
That's November 1963 there. Bob Murphy and a girl group backing him up there on the Lawn record label out of Philadelphia. Song entitled Hey You. And the guy, there was two girls and a guy. And he said, oh, I'd buy this record. I really like this record. And he didn't like the other record. They didn't like it. He gave this one a 90. I think he gave the Pennies a 45, I think. Big disparity there. Anyway, Johnny G here as we wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's head back to Los Angeles, California for a request for Matey Campboy. And this group, they're called the Rasonics. They were an offshoot of a group called the Lions that recorded for the Rendezvous record label and I think a couple other labels. I think Mac 4, I think they also recorded on. But this group had 3 releases. This is their second, I think on different labels. This one's on the Lucky Token label. This one from April 64 by request for Matey Campboy, the Rasonics on Lucky 4, going out to Matey. It's called I'm Really in Love. That's by request from Matey Campboy there. Those are the Rasonics from April 64 on the Lucky Token label. I'm Really in Love. 2 more 45s to go before Johnny G signs off here. A couple weeks ago, played a request for Matey Campboy by Little Joe and the Latinaires from September 64 on the El Zarpe label. It was called Crazy Baby. Let's give a listen to the flip side because Little Joe and the Latinaires are backing up a vocal of Johnny H. and the Sinceres, and they are covering a Jax tune. The Jax originally did this, I think, back in 1955, but this one from September 64 on El Zarpe. Give a listen to Johnny H. and the Sinceres and their rendition of the tune, Why Don't You Write Me?
Why don't you write me, darling? Send me a letter. Tell me you love me, dear. Make me feel better. I love you, and it's you I adore. You I adore. When I first met you, dear, I didn't have eyes, but since you left me, darling, I realize I love you, and it's you I adore. You I adore. I miss you so each day, and though you're gone away, I guess I love you more and more. And as the days go by, I sometimes even cry to see your face once more. Oh, counting my blessings, darling, reach for a star. Why don't you write me, dear? Say how you are. I love you, and it's you I adore. And it's you I adore.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That one there from September 1964 on the El Zarpe record label. Little Joe, no, I'm sorry, Johnny H, not Johnny G, Johnny H and the Sinceres, and a cover of the Jacks tune, their great tune called Why Don't You Write Me? Why don't you write, Johnny G? Send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. Like I said, why don't you write me? Do what Johnny H and the Sinceres did. Send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Send me your requests. I'm losing my voice. Send me requests for my 1950s and early 60s show or my 60s show. Takes me longer to find those records, but I will get it together soon enough. But that's going to do it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you missed any part of the show, you can come back on YouTube, unless I get a copyright issue, probably in the next an hour or two after I shut down. It usually posts up, but if not, you can go to vinyltreasures.net. You can go to my website always to stream or download the show there. You can't see me, but you'll be able to hear me, and you'll be able to hear the songs that I had to mute. I was just telling Alex asked me that he listened to my last 60s show, and like I said, I had to mute 2 songs, and then somehow YouTube allowed it to go through. So I don't know, they got to get their act together. They shouldn't really penalize me for any of the songs. I paid for these records. I paid a lot of money for these records. If we total all the cost of all the records that I played tonight, it's a lot of money when you're a record collector. I don't have it stinking MP3s that I get them for free like other DJs on my station do. But anyway, no, I'm not joking around, of course. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. And our closer tonight, I showed you the Elgins on VIP. I couldn't find my correctly pressed record, but that record has the same label on both sides, which I hate. But our closer tonight is by request for Matey Campboy. She requested the Elgins from June of 1967 with a cover song. Was first done by the Five Quails on the Harvey record label, but this group, the Elgins, they do a nice rendition, charted number 92 on Billboard, 35 on the R&B charts, a big number 9 record on WOL in Washington, D.C. It features Sandra Millette Edwards on lead. And the closer tonight is for Matey Campboy and their rendition of the tune It's Been a Long Time by the Elgins. As Johnny G is all tuckered out, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow evening to my buddy Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show. It's on TopShelfOldies.org. It all begins at 9 p.m., 9 to midnight, right here on Top Shelf Oldies and all the other shows that are on during the week. All the DJs give a different tastes in music. You know what I play. So, but anyway, you should just check it out. You really should. But, you might like some of the other shows, and you might like Dave's show tomorrow night. So please check him out. And he's my best friend, my buddy, Dave the Raven, Relics and Rarities, tomorrow night right here on Top Shelf Oldies. Okay, folks, that's going to do it. Thank you so much, Charlene, again, for all your help. At last minute, I drive everybody crazy, especially Charlene. Again, thank you so much. I will see you here next Saturday, 10 o'clock, 10 to 1 a.m. And I'm not getting, usually across the screen I'll see copyright violation, but it's not happening. But again, thank you so much, folks. I'm babbling on too much. I am really tired tonight. And I'll see you next Saturday at 10 o'clock. Just want to say, everybody, so long. I'll be back right after this song.
It's been a long, long time since I've wanted to hold you close, and I've longed just to hold you close, hold you close. It's been a long, long time. And oh, it's been a long, long time since I've wanted to kiss your sweet lips. Yes, I long just to kiss you once, kiss you twice. It's been a long, long time. Oh yeah, you know I've been all over the world. I've been all over this world, searching for someone like you, searching for someone like you. Much to my surprise, you came into my view, and oh, it's been a long, long time since I've wanted to hold you close, and I long just to hold you close, hold you close. It's been a long, long time since I held you close, held you close. I wanna kiss you once, kiss you twice. It's been a long time since I held you close, held you close.
Okay, folks, that's going to do it. Johnny G is tired today. Of course, I wasted 3 hours looking for a record that was on my desk the whole time, which is why I was behind, unfortunately. But here it is, Johnny H. and the Sinceres. And they were talking about this record. Is it Johnny Hernandez? Look at that. Why don't you write me? The writer is unknown. Unknown. This is a label out of Dallas, Texas. No, it was distributed out of Dallas, Texas. El Zarpe Records. And I don't know. I had this in my collection for a while. I'm sorry, folks. I was listening to Andy Lamusio. He said, Johnny G, take the Rigoletta. I've been taking with the pollen, so much pollen. Rigoletta cough drops. That's what I've been taking. I had the coffee over here too. But anyway, I had the windows open up here, so some of the pollen gets in, and it's not good for me. Unfortunately, this has the same, and this, who knows, I paid 10 cents for this, but it's the same label on both sides. I think I have a promo of this, but it's somewhere in my mess of boxes. I don't have time I didn't have time. I actually started cleaning records in my spin clean today. You see it. I put the spin clean in the back there of the and it really does. It makes a difference. So much better to use the spin clean. It does. It really cleans the records, at least in my opinion. Anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'll be back next Saturday for more 50s and early 60s, and I haven't seen George. George is usually here like clockwork. I hope he's okay. And I know Nick Nicola, he had to work tonight, so that's why a couple people were asking in the chat room, so they couldn't come in. I don't know how George is. Usually he's here, so I don't know. Maybe something happened to the PC, or who knows? Because I didn't receive an email from. Usually I communicate with George a lot. Anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you next Saturday at 10 o'clock. If you're new to the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notifications when I go live. I plan on doing live shows during the week in the day, so not really at night. A lot of people go to bed early on the East Coast, maybe even on the West Coast. I know Warren goes to bed early, from what I hear. So anyway, but maybe I'll be on at a more civil time. But again, thank you so much again, folks. Everybody be safe, and I'll see you here next Saturday at 10 o'clock for the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, bye-bye. Bye-bye.